of just getting those points through and making sure you keep getting invited back to all these ESL events with your rankings.
Exactly, yeah, very important for them. So they're not going to, they're not gonna just, throw this one away. I mean, exactly how we saw in the 5th place decider. It's going to be a situation where we'll still try, we'll still save. We won't want to, retake ridiculous situations that aren't possible. So it'll be played out as normal, as you would expect, as a proper BO3, and we're about to get started. Apex on the dual leads. Hunter has convinced me of the dual leads in that G2 game earlier on. How will Apex make it work? Already he's on top of Hut, as Astralis looks to make their way outside and go for a bit of a split.
Now, quite quick to this outside position. Shock's just jiggle peeking up in heaven, not quite completely overextending and drawing into a fight. Astralis getting some deep control down to this lockers area. Is a quick 1-for-1 trade, and Astralis just diving that bomb to the lower bomb side.
Yeah, it's a correct choice as well, but little do they know, Zywoo's here, and he's got a teammate to help him out, Kaijin, or he gets 2 kills for each other. Magic at least manages to trade it out and keeps it a possibility, but look at this duel, Bubsky versus, they're like stuck in the corner. That's a hard one to deal with. Masute's in trouble, and Bubsky will deal with it, and now it's back into a 2 versus 2. Magic and Bubsky looking to try and resolve this one. Bomb is not yet planted, but now Apex has been spotted toward the single door, and there's the dualies. All the bullets working out for him, all connecting. Now it's all Bubsky looking for a 4K clutch. Would be a 1 versus 2. Unfortunately for him, the bomb is dropped on the site, jumping around trying to look for information, gets the first, but now it's up to the second, and it'll get teamed on, and it'll be an easy frag for Apex on those dual Berettas. 2 guns are better than 1.
Well played in the 2v1 from Apex and Kyojin. They peek on each other's contact. They make sure they don't isolate any of those individual fights. And for Astralis, there was a lot of pace in that round, trying to get players outside into lockers, down into secret, even having Bubsky in a decent lurk in that ramp position, trying to see if they can cut the rotates off. Unfortunately, when that bomb just got dropped in the lower bomb site, it made that whole round for Bubsky to win just so unfortunate that it's just the timing's not really there. He's lost all of his players, and Astralis, because there isn't a bomb plant, they're not going to buy it.
Yeah, and it's a chance for Vitality to build up that economy. You've got the MP9 on Shocks, the MP9 on Masuta as well, and a UMP on Zywoo. And honestly, yeah, I don't see the UMP much anymore. Do you remember that period, a couple of years ago, where quite literally the UMP was better than the M4 in certain scenarios? It was an incredible SMG that was discovered pretty late, to be honest. It was always in that state for a long time, and finally the nerf came in, and now it's sort of the MP9 that's the god-tier SMG, especially on the CT side. So let's just see it somewhere, back in the game perhaps. So we're trying it out. He's got full util to still work with, but as you say, should be a clean-up here for Vitality. Maybe some long-range taps with the Silence M4 for Apex as they try and take the jewels outside. Gets the first, Bubsky will go down, but as we say, it's just Glocks. Only Magic has the deagle.
It's got to be quite frustrating for Astralis knowing the last few head-to-heads just haven't really gone their way at all. The last time they actually beat Vitality was back in January this year. They've had another 3 games since then in the Blast Premier Fall groups, also in ESL Pro League, where it's not been easy at all for Astralis. It's been some simple affairs coming through for Vitality. Apex getting a couple more kills, 3 outside. With that bomb being dropped, not a single kill coming through. Vitality handling the pistols pretty effectively.
Yeah, now they have a bonus round to play out. I doubt they'll be dropping any of these SMGs. They'll most certainly be keeping them into the next round. So now Astralis will have their full 5 AK-47s. How are they going to play this one out? It's a round you'd expect them to win up against this bonus buy, but if Vitality can get a good start and catch them off guard, perhaps with some aggression. I'd like to see some aggression perhaps toward Hut, maybe a lobby crunch, something like that. When you have these SMGs, that could catch Astralis off guard, but I'm sure they'll be more than aware of that.
Now, both teams didn't really get off to the best of starts in the last RMR over in Flashpoint Season 3. 7th place in for Vitality, 6th in for Astralis, so it's definitely felt as been a better event for both of these teams. Astralis with more nades coming into this upper bomb site. Great flash over the top. It's actually Kyojin being the first one to fall. Shock's trying to hold on for as long as possible, and the upper execution has just been a meat grinder. So many picks being found on the entries. Zywoo's the last one.
Yeah, and Bubsky was blind for what felt like the entirety of his round there. Absolutely insane that he managed to stay alive in that one, only on 14 HP, gets himself an important kill. And now Zoe is left in a 1v4 with a UMP. Pretty impossible from there. Zipex will stop him, and that will mean that you do get the round they're expected to get. So very nicely done from Astralis. That's exactly what you want on that round, and it does actually force Vitality down to a buy, which is doable, but Kyojin will only have 2100 to work with, so maybe a UMP or an MP9 for him.
Now, you'd have to imagine pressure is going to start getting applied quite quickly by the Astralis side onto Vitality. And knowing that the money state's not really in the most fantastic position possible, no one going to chuck one of those M4s over to Kyojin, so the newest member's just going to stick on the deagle.
Yeah, makes sense, and it'll still be a strong buy for Vitality in this one. I mean, when you have Zyro on a rifle, let alone the AWP, it can always be dangerous. And there's some information. Spots the arm, jumping often towards Silo. That's an information to where Dupree is residing. But at the moment, they're not really pouncing on anything as of yet, are Astralis. Looking to try and advance further, perhaps toward ramp. Zipex has got the off angle if they decide to push aggressively. But at the moment, no real progress. Minute 20 on the clock. Usually we see the smokes toward outside. With around about a minute on the clock if they want to go for it mid-round. And we're about to see it right now.
Yeah, there is two vastly different AWPers on this server today. Lucky in this event is averaged at 1.03 rating. Zywoo, 1.32, the second highest rated player in this entire RMR. And for good reason, right? It's Zywoo.
Absolutely, that's what you expect of him, isn't it? And now it looks like Astralis are going to be creeping a little bit through outside, using these smokes, and we'll get their way towards Secret. But Vitality know exactly what's going on here. They know exactly the positions they will be in. And Apex is actually in toward Garage, holding the off angle in case they go toward main. They're just shifting down Secret, so that's the information not really gleaned as of yet. There has to be a call that it's open. And Zipex still lurking around ramp, looking for some aggression. Zyro is still there, trying to hold it.
Yeah, Masuta has to try and hold and get a couple of kills down at that lower bomb side. Zyro's holding this ramp angle for a very long time, getting closer than 20 seconds. Astralis need to act quickly.
They do, and it needs to be a quick one because look where Masuta is. He's in a very powerful position and he will drop the bomb. 15 seconds to go. They have to recover it very quickly. Dupree gets a good response and Zyro will actually get caught off. Looking toward windows, that recovers it into a 4v3 and they should be able to get this bomb down in good time. Bubsky will be covered by a teammate, so all good in the hood for Astralis at the moment. And with Zipex finding Apex, that's basically the round done for. Shox is already thinking about falling back. Kirjin on the Deagle can stick around and perhaps try and grab a gun. But other than that, I'm feeling like it's going to be 2-all and a Vitality save.
Just a slight overextension from Zywoo on that rotate down at ramp. Thought with the time low that he could have mustered in, dropping that bomb again and just stalling Astralis to the clock. Instead, he gets caught out, gets dropped with a couple of good picks coming through from Dupree, Zip, and even Bubsky. Means that Vitality have just got to hold on to what they can of that dig lamp for the M4 and tie up the scoreline pretty quickly at 2-2. Now, in the last couple of head-to-heads, it's actually been quite recent when they played each other at the Premier Fall groups. We saw them play each other twice in 2 days, and Nuke presented itself both times. The first time around on the 17th, Vitality took it 16-14. The next day, Astralis took it 16-10. So it does show that there is wiggle room here for Astralis on Nuke.
Yeah, there is for sure. And, the result against ENC yesterday doesn't necessarily mean anything about how these two teams match up on this map. So, we've seen those previous results go sort of 1-for-1. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I mean, they've already started, probably better than they did against ENC, to be honest. Because they've got the 2-2 and they have pistols to face here now. There's only really Shox to worry about on the Silence M4. He has a grenade to work with as well, but he'll have to place that one perfectly to do anything significant in this round. Actually gets the first, though. He's actually on top of Garage. That's a lovely position to be in to catch off Magisk. And now, as they go toward ramp, Masuta will have to be forced away. They will be able to take it for free. But Shox getting an opening pick. At least makes it interesting.
Barbsky, struggling to get that pick together onto Masuda. Someone's got to be clearing out this dark position because there is a double mollies coming in and no one actually clears it. It allows Apex to drop that bomb, try and see if he can continue damage, and Zywoo's now got a pick with the AK.
He does, and now Bubsky needs to do the damage because it's a 3v2 for Vitality. Bomb is dropped directly in front of him, but look where Shox and Zyro are. That's such a tough spot. They're going to just peek and try and deny it as soon as it's planted. They can't really recover it right now either. Bubsky will finally manage it, but Garjin, what a shot that is. Zipex goes down, and the Molotov will not matter. He might even die to it. He does. Bubsky goes down posthumously, but it doesn't matter. It's Vitality. He'll take a 3-2 lead. Cheeky with the pistols. It was all down to Shox to start it off. It funneled them toward ramp and a little bit of a B stack. Apex helping out with the deagle damage as well. Very nicely done. Catching Astralis off guard there.
Yeah, starting to get some visions of what happened on Ancient between Movistar Riders and G2 on some of this back and forth affair. And for Vitality, it works out well. Astralis, they double mollied, didn't they, to the double doors? No molly went down to that dark position of where Apex was.
Yeah, it's surprising, isn't it? That's something they've overlooked, and you can't overlook anything when you're up against pistols, and Zyro's already stopped Zipex from trying to get down the vents. But there is one player who's made it. That is Magisk, unfortunately. Apex is still here already to deny that bomb plant, and unfortunately, the trades are just not coming through for Astralis on this one. Zyro with 2 more outside, 3 kills for him, tapping away at Dupree, looking for a 4K. Very clean stuff from Zyro. 8 kills already in this game. He's showing up in ascendance, exactly what you'd expect. And poor old Dupree has to fall back with just 11 Galil. And honestly, even with 1 minute 20, it's a 1v5. You can't really do anything. Maybe even save and T-spawn.
Oh, what a hold that is for Zywoo outside and garage, credit card, just being able to just tap away, create so many of those individual fights. And Astralis very slow to get started. Now, even going into the next round, not even one pick presents itself. And for Vitality, they can hunt. They're even getting an aggressive play outside. Apex wants another.
Yeah, he does. I mean, I think he will know that he's low as well because there we go. There's the information. Zoe would have called the dink over, and Apex just absolutely obliterates him as he knows that information. So 4-2, that puts Astralis probably onto pistols here. It's only around 2k per player. Only Lucky has a little bit left over, and he'll probably want a future AWP. So no reason to spend down too much. We'll take this opportunity to say congratulations to NIP for winning the main event in its entirety.
Oh, okay.
They have managed to beat out ENTS in a pretty convincing fashion in the end. Impressive stuff from those guys. And now we get to see who finishes third. And it's going to be fascinating either way because this is now technically the final game of the entire EU event. How about that? That's flown by.
And so is this round. You'd have to imagine just Glocks out for the T side. Easy pickings going to be coming in. And for Astralis, even if they can somehow isolate a duel and drop one of these rifles for Vitality, you'd look at that as success.
Yeah, absolutely. And now we're in a situation where just really waste the clock down. I mentioned it earlier. It's important for Astralis not to, just give up the pistols straight away. You kind of have to at least make Vitality, use their utility. In fact, they're keeping quite a lot of it right now. So, they're aware of what Astralis are trying to do. They're using this round to talk about the strategy for the next round. But, try and make Vitality repurchase that utility later on. And they're going to go into a ramp now together. Masuta looking to try and farm these pistols. There's one, there's two, three in the end. And now Zyra's here to help out as well. Gets the final two to finish it off. Zupri with the one kill in the round. And Vitality will be successful with that. 5-2.
And Masuda and Kyojin share some history together. They both played on that Make Your Destiny lineup with the Wonder Kids as well, with Flexor, who's sort of known as the French in-game leader in the lower tiers, right? That's really going to be able to try and move some of these players up. And I guess they've all got to come from somewhere. A lot of young guns to try and back up the two more veteran guys on the lineup of Apex and Shox. It's even kind of surprising to think how long Zyro's been a part of this lineup for. It's coming up to 3 years.
Crazy that, isn't it? Time has really flown with his, prowess on this roster and how insane he's been over those few years. Shox has been, around forever. It's been incredible to see how long his longevity is. And actually, we're going for a fast play in here toward A. Bubsy gets one, but Shox doing more damage. Full blind, though. Almost actually gets a third. That would have been surprising. Apex doing a lot of damage through the smoke with the Silence M4. Of course, no traces on that, but they will try and kill up Masuta. They do, but it's a 1-for-1. Now, Apex is here to help out, and out of all that, it's recovered into a 1 versus 1. Apex versus Lucky, the new boy on Astralis, looking to try and make it happen, but no. Apex is too strong, and it will keep Vitality's streak going. Up to 6-2, almost catching off Vitality there, but in the end, too strong on the defense.
Yeah, Lucky is tied first for most clutches won in this entire event at 7 so far, and it looked as if he was going to start pushing it even further, creating that 1v1 situation. A lot of chaos being created on that CT side, out from the rotates in that main position. Astralis just trying to go for another one of those quick upper takes. Vitality, they're hanging on, and they're starting to press the lead.
They are, because Astralis are now back down to pistols once again, and they're just looking for some duels to run outside. He does well to avoid that grenade stack. When you've got Zyro just picking away toward outside, oh, dirty tap toward Dupree. At least one player in Magis has managed to creep down towards Secret, so it is something, a bit of progress. Maybe Apex will not be looking for it, but now he just gets the call that they could have snuck down. But he doesn't check the angle, and actually Magis gets away with the kill. That will force Masuta back away toward B as the ramp play comes in. Shock's not expecting it, and Zipex will punish him.
This is actually looking very promising out from Astralis. A lot of damage has been done. More pace down to that lower bomb site. Masuta can't find anything. Astralis have got a chance of actually converting a win in this round.
It's actually doable. It's crazy. Bubsky will be able to get the bomb planted. Kajin is hit with the Silence M4. He's got Zyro in support. The best player you could probably have in support. And now they're going to try and retake this 2v3. Lucky has no armor to work with, but Zipex has got the AK and Bubsy's recovered the M4. So it needs to be a clean crossfires working out here for Astralis to hold this one. Zyro does have an incendiary to use. There's a player behind the silo. Zyro was correct to check that angle. But at the moment, there's a bit of information coming in, and there's the swing, but Bubsy can't manage it. Zyro does get away with a kill. 2 versus 2. And now both players are toward double doors at the moment. That's actually not planted for them. That could be a problem. Kajin's doing all the work, and he gets both headshots. Beautiful stuff. That is surprising to see both Astralis players toward double door there when the bomb wasn't necessarily planted for them.
Yeah, it could have been the element of surprise, honestly, and just
Yeah.
knowing that they've been able to take ramp. You're not sure how quickly those rotates are going to go down for the vent position out to double doors. So just get that bomb down safe. And my goodness, that's just class on the retake, isn't it, from Vitality? The great adjustment back up to the rafters behind that default silo angle onto Zywoo. And then they just start working on one another. Time is low. The bomb's been ticked for a while. And as soon as they realize that that last player is out to double doors, Zywoo, get on it, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. The correct call, even though he's low HP, if you have Kajin to help you, it will be very easy indeed. And he gets the 2 quick-fire headshots to finish off that round. Astralis, they were just on pistols, but they would have been expecting maybe a little bit of a better hold than that. They had a 3 versus 2. They had a chance to sneak around through here. But as it is, their full bite is now in. They have everything they could ever want, all the utility, all the AKs. They need to try and find a way to put a stop to this streak from Vitality. A very successful streak indeed, up to 7-2. This is the third place playoff, of course. It all helps for points in the future. They are both qualified for the major, though, of course. So, it's a bit of practice for both these teams, but it will be played out in very serious fashion.
Oh, Zywoo, the smallest of gaps, and it really does feel as if you give him an inch and he'll take you a mile. Another quick play out towards that squeak door area. They don't know about Shox is playing up from the top of Hut. Finally, that kill comes in. Zywoo even makes it too. Kyojin swinging wide. They haven't quite smoked off this main position, and it allows Zywoo to peek in for more. He can even find his triple. Lucky getting into the mix. He's now the last one left. 1v2. That bomb's been dropped.
That's horrible. That smoke toward main. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how that smoke got positioned like it did, but that is a huge factor for Zyro getting his 3rd kill. He's up to 15-4 in this game, and Masuta will just absolutely blindside Lucky. 8-2. What a streak this has been from Vitality. Zyro 15-4. I'm going to mention it again. That is incredible start from him. Exactly what we wanted and expected. First kill toward outside, and there's that smoke, just completely open gap there toward the main position. Easy 3rd frag for him. 8-2. Astralis. They're going to have another buy, of course. But it's going to be a tough one. At least Lucky does have his AWP. Lack of a helmet, but that's the only thing going wrong, really, in this buy.
Well, Vitality paid NIP yesterday on Nuke, which was NIP's map pick, and actually stole it away from them at a 16-5 with a great 11-4 half on CT. It's looking like that can be replicated again. Dry outside, and they're just desperate for a pick, aren't they, at this point? Even peeking into the AWP, they're playing with so much confidence for Vitality.
This is strange. I mean, dry picks toward outside. I can understand with the AWP wanting to take the dry duels, and try and get some picks toward the deep outside positions. But this has just been eaten up by Shox. 3 kills, easy stuff for him. That looks so simple. Out of nowhere, it's all down to Zipex. 1 versus 5. We know this guy can clutch, but I think it's slightly beyond him. The Molotov will come in toward Hut as well, and now his position will be known as he takes a few ticks to that Molotov. Oh, Astralis, they're starting to look worrying again, to be honest. The end performance the other day has really shown them up on Nuke, perhaps, and Vitality are taking them up on that duel and absolutely owning them at the moment.
Yeah, Vitality really putting their foot down, and this is a long time ago to think about, but even when they were back at the Berlin Major, they only got to the quarterfinals, didn't they? They went down to a Vanguard, straight into the playoffs. Astralis were the ones that were able to take it completely, and knowing that this is the last event up until the Major, that's got to mean so much more for Vitality, knowing they're facing off against major winners of Astralis.
Yeah, crazy. Absolutely crazy. And right now they're looking so good, aren't they? I mean, it's just a good team performance from Vitality at the moment. There's no one really lagging behind. Kajin, sure, he only has 4 kills, but he was the one who got that really important 2K to cover the round against those pistols. So, yeah, really, really great stuff from the whole team at the moment. Zyro taking matters into his own hands, 16-4 now. Apex is doing great work as well. Of course, the IGL these days for Vitality. And he's showing that he can still go back to the good old days where he used to be a mad fragger for various teams that he was on, like G2, etc. So, yeah, it's great to see him still being able to perform well.
Astralis just need a star player. They need someone to really step up, because at the current moment, no one's really getting opening man advantages. No one's creating space to allow lurks to come in, allow walks outside, and just the amount of AKs that have constantly been in the hands of Vitality is just a nightmare to deal with.
Yeah, now again they're in a situation where it's just, like 3 Deagles or so, P250, a scout on Dupree, trying to look for something from Silo. It's the best position probably for that scout if you're going to go for a pick on the T side, but no one on Vitality is giving him anything, and why would you? Plays of so far have been just defensive and solid, have worked every single time so far. And it's really nothing for Astralis to do other than try and push together. The grenades are going to come in late as well. That will do some chip damage to Lucky. Even makes it even harder for him on 81 HP. And there's Shox dealing with Zipex already. The rotations will be coming in. Zyro is even in towards Secret looking for more kills.
It all just comes down to a matter of timing. Surely he's got to get a flash outside if he does want to swing in. The scout from Silo is watching the angle. He's still adjust for it.
Oh.
My goodness, what is this man made of? I mean, that is just a sick flick to go up with the verticality. And Lucky, well, he finds out pretty quickly. He's the last one left, getting charged down 10 on the board for Vitality. Jeez, this is a slaughter.
This is an incredible half so far. Astralis had it at 2-2. It's been 8 rounds in a row since then. Absolutely incredible from Vitality. And yeah, just again, taking the initiative as they want, at any time they want, it feels like as well. Because at the end there, you know, it was just Lucky alive and they all swung in. No risks taken. They don't want to lose any players to these pistols. And yeah, that tap from Zyro towards Silo on Dupree, there's just nothing you can do about that. You have to say, okay, nice shot. Go next round.
And what do they do? Back to the pace, back to these upper side takes that have been very hit and miss. Lucky with the AWP, just trying to get posted, hope for a jiggle peek. The CTs are pushing ramp.
They are. They're trying to pinch right now, but Zipex is looking for it. But he's just going to get destroyed by Zyro. Bubskis at least will be able to take Kaijin, but there's Shocks again, trading back immediately. And now Lucky's in a bit of a tough spot. He can't really hold lobby anymore. At least Vitality will choose to fall off of it, especially with the damage done to Shocks. So they will at least retain their 4v3. Magix has made some progress toward outside. He's not seeing Shocks as of yet. He's going to decide to go toward Garage and not toward Secret, and that could be a problem because there's a bit of a crossfire coming in. Apex has the deep angle, does get the kill despite getting taken down to 19 HP. And now it's all down to Dupree and Lucky in a 2v4.
The NWP is just desperate for a pick, some sort of way to strike, and not even a jiggle peek is being given up. Apex, Shocks, down low, Zywu the same, and Shocks even follows up again. Lucky, it feels like he's always the last one left to try and get a clutch together and can't even hit that first bullet. 11 start getting built up for Vitality. And, well, maybe there's a good reason why they've got the legend status of the Major and Astralis have only got challengers. They're not even looking to challenge onto Vitality today.
Oh, God, this is an absolute run over so far. We're seeing the same performance from Astralis on Nuke that we saw against ENCE, unfortunately. And that's crazy, isn't it, how times change? I mean, remember when Astralis used to be the kings on Nuke? They had a streak of, what, was it like 20, 25 maps or something ridiculous like that? Maybe even more than that? It was a lot more than that, maybe. And now, these days, they've been figured out, it seems. And right now, Vitality are looking to put that to bed. 11-2, only 2 rounds left in the half. 13-2 is possible, especially with the fact that Astralis are on pistols coming up here. Tech9's rushing in toward ramp. Masuto looks to try and get one. Actually gets double pick, though. Very nice clear. They can pick up an AK. Now it's all down to Zywu to try and get one. But unfortunately, he has to fall back.
Ah, great. Couple of picks start coming through with the pistols. Magist goes in for that vent dive and is able to create the opportunity. Apex falls to the Tech9. Magist looking for even more. What a great round this has been from Astralis. Matches even finding 3. And it all came down to that slight reposition. We saw Masuta as the ramp player look to try and get over to that left-hand side as they started peeking forward.
Yeah, he was sort of caught in no man's land, wasn't he? That's the worst part about it. When you're caught in no man's land against pistols, there's nothing you can really do about it. You're going to get double picked, aren't you? And in the end, it was Magis to get the 3k. To get Astralis off the board for the first time, I think, in 9 rounds. I believe Vitality got in a row there. So yeah, the streak has finally been halted. And now we're going to see whether they can at least make an 11-4 half out of it. They have a buy available, of course, after winning that previous round on the half buy. Vitality, of course, will be at full strength. They've had good money for basically the entire half.
Oh, Cyber's just done this so often. He did it in the couple of previous rounds ago and found success. He's doing it again. 20 kills and 5 deaths. He is a man on a mission for blood out there. And for Astralis, they've been able to silently get down to lower. They've still lost the opening pick again.
Yeah, Zyro's everywhere. Look at him. He's on B now, and he's ready in case they do go toward B. This is incredible. He's just everywhere. Pushing toward ramp, winning every single duel. 20 kills on a half. You always know it's been a disgusting half when you get 20 kills. And he's in position to get even more to finish it off. Bubsky is here. Will monitor the vents and stop any rotations. But will Zyro stop even more of these frags? There's one. Looking for another one as well. Gets it as well. 22, 23 kills for Zyro in one half of Counter-Strike. Big 4K from him. He's on for the ace. Unfortunately, Lucky's on the opposite side of the map, so it probably won't come through. Once again, the last alive. But it's going to be a 12-3 half of Vitality. What an absolute run over. Beautiful stuff from the French side. We'll see you after the break to see if Astralis can muster anything coming up.
We've got 3 players out of 5 who's attended every single major in CSGO in this server today, and 3 that are debutants of Lucky, Masuta, and Kyojin. And my goodness, is it Vitality just destroying Astralis in this first map? It doesn't even look close, does it?
No, 9 rounds in a row. If you get rounds in a row and a half, you're always going to come out on top, and that was incredible work from Vitality. From that 2-2 position, they're back in the lead at 12-3. What a ridiculous half. Now on the T side of Nuke, looking to try and bring it through. Zyro's got 23 kills in one half of Counter-Strike. Can he make it any more? A 30 bomb would be incredible in such a short game. He's already dived down the vents. Looking to try and make something happen for Vitality. They're already down toward the B site, and Astralis know it.
Oh, just catching Zip completely off guard, just trying to reposition it into the side, and just the goosh is coming through onto Lucky. It's further damage that works well for the T's.
Magis will answer back for one, though, makes it a 4v4, and the bomb's actually not yet been planted, so they can still choose to do something different. So I was faking out the vent sound. Masuda's actually made his way back up. He is the player with the bomb, so you'll be able to plant it and safely, and they'll have a 4v4 after plant to work out. Bubsky is the player with the defuse kit and the smoke as well, but look at Shox. He's sticking around. Let one side go past. Oh, he actually does get checked and gets one in the end. Okay, that looked like it could be a nightmare in the end, but Shox covers for at least one kill. One-way smoke will be dropped down by Bubsky as they look to try and attempt to retake through heaven. Masuta now knows the information. Lucky was low, gets taken down in one shot. Magis will trade one back, and there's Bubsky. Now it's all down to Zyro. Exactly the man you want to be in this situation. They're holding the bombs as they come in from Bubsky. Zyro tries to go for the frag, and he makes it happen. 25-5. This man cannot be stopped, ever.
What a great chance that was for Astralis. I'm surprised that even Shox was able to find one. He's just trying to bait, trying to make sure that they completely overlook him. They check him, he still gets one kill. Masuta's able to deal with Lucky in heaven, and it's like, right, Zamu, clutches for us one, mate. 1v2, gets Bubsky off of the bomb, taps around with that Glock. My goodness, he really could drop 30 in a 16-3. Imagine dropping 30 in that kind of a scoreline.
I'm scared. I'm scared by Zyro right now. Finally, he'll be put to bed by Bub7 doing great work, but the SMGs are still doing so much damage to Astralis. They at least have a man advantage this time, and they have the bomb dropped on the site as well. Shox and Apex trying to recover the situation. There's a player in the smoke. Shox will find one, and there's Apex just leaping in with the MAC-10. That's what you want to do with the SMG. Always use that movement speed, and it works out perfectly. Now it's just Lucky in a 1v2 with the scout. Actually, both these players on Vitality are scoutable in one shot, but unfortunately with no armor, surely you have to fall away. It's going to be 14-3 Vitality.
And something we saw again from the Ents game for Astralis is the slow starts, right? This is even a slow start where, when does the start even begin? They're down 3-13, now make it 3-14. It feels like not only did we see slow starts from them on map 1 and on map 2 in that best of 3 series yesterday, we're seeing it even further.
I mean, it's true. Astralis lost 16-4 to Ents yesterday. They picked Nuke, and they could be about to have a worse result with picking Nuke again. Don't pick Nuke next time, I'm feeling, for Astralis. Maybe that's one you have to give up on. It used to be one of their god-tier maps. These days, not anymore.
Even before the Ents game, they were on a 7-map winning streak. They beat the likes of Liquid, Vitality, Heroic, Complexity, Sinners, Fiend, then had that one-sided loss against Ents today. And this is really going to shake up the veto. You'd have to imagine going into the veto for Astralis.
Yeah, and the major as well. I mean, there's so much different things to work out. Bubsky actually manages to get one, almost a second, but Shox will put an end to him. I mean, it looks like we could be getting toward 15 for Vitality in double quick time. Dupree and Lucky, the last two remaining, and Zyro will just tap down Lucky. 2 players as well. Zipex first, then Lucky. 27. Can he get 3 more kills, Dweg? This will be the thing. And can he get 30 kills in a 16-3 victory? Wouldn't that be absolutely mental? I mean, I've been watching Counter-Strike for a long time. I don't think I've seen a dominant performance as this, especially in an important as game as this.
Mate, for 3rd place on LAN against Astralis on their map pick to go 27-6. I can't remember the last time we've seen a similar performance. Astralis will have at least one chance to get some survivor rounds going, to just add more rounds to their tally.
Yeah, and unfortunately, when they add more rounds to their tally, they'll be probably adding more kills to Zyro's tally. Absolutely remarkable. Even if they lose the rounds, he's been getting kills so far in this game. Shock 17-7 as well. It's had a fantastic map, to be fair. Alongside Apex, it's not just all been the Zyro show. And they're going to make their way toward outside. Molly towards Secret. They can get themselves past these smokes. Shock is up close. Flash coming in. He will look away from it, though, and will easily take down Magis. Back into a 4v4. Lucky can't connect anymore through that smoke.
And that's a great read from Shox. Bubsky now going to see if he can drop down to the vents, play out from decontamination, try and cut some of those secret players off getting into that lower bomb site. Vitality still have so much time to work with to start scrambling the CTs.
It's a whole minute. It's literally a whole minute to work with, and they've got map control already down toward B. Bubsky spots the first player go through, but not the second, and now he'll have to make his way through the single door and make this one possible. He can make his way into a decent position on the rafters, and now Lucky's here in support as well, but only gets the tag. Mizuta down to 4 HP. That's unfortunate. And now Bubsky will look to try and trade it. Does get it, and it recovers it into an advantage for Astralis, but the first one in a long time.
Back to that upper bomb site, they feel as if they've got a good timing on the rotation, that Shox has been able to get to heaven. What they don't know was Dupree just standing at the top of those vents. Now a 1v3's got to try and come in.
If we know it's Shox, he can clutch anything, but unfortunately we'll get caught in the back, and it will be one more round for Astralis, unfortunately. It's one more round probably to endure if you're the CT side, because at the moment it's not looking too hot whatsoever. It's just been the entire Vitality show so far. Even this round looked like it could go in their favour for a while. But in the end, Bubsy helped out Lucky after getting that tag with the AWP. And in the end, Shox is in a sort of situation where you can't really do anything about that. So it's going to be 15-4. Astralis are still alive. Team Vitality have one more buy available to bring this one through for now.
This is still looking fantastic to be able to get them across the line. Shox even outside is going to have to be faced with Majest that's been able to get into that secret position, and Zip could be under fire in ramp.
He could be. He's right next to this smoke, and he can hear the grenades being primed. He's in trouble, but they're not checking his position. Gets the first, gets the second, almost a third, but Shock spins on Magisk, and Apex helps out with Zipex. So that's back into a 3v3. There should be a rifle that can be recovered for Kyogen. So they should have 3 rifles to go into this 3v3. But at the moment, he's just going to try and take the initiative. Go down with just the Deagle, but Shox is even looking for that lurk of Dupree. It's not really just been Zaru who has it. It's been Shox as well. 21-8. Fantastic game from him. Bubsky will at least answer back, and that gives him a little bit more of a handle hold in this game. But it's still a 2v2, and the bomb will go down with Vitality a chance to close it out.
Now, Apex knows straight away that he's cutting rotates off in this ramp position, so the information has to be, okay, they're coming from double doors out to single, just start wasting time, and with a couple of flashes, he can deny even further.
He could as well. That's a bit of information. Kyogen with the Deagle. It's been spotted, but now Apex can be activated. Has a first shot from Kyogen to help him out. And now it's actually all down to Kyogen. It's going to be a tough one with just the Deagle, and Bubsky will make it happen. He's been one of the key factors for Astralis as of late. He's been really putting up the numbers for recent, Astralis performances, even in losses, and he'll keep his team alive even further. 15-5. It's not done just yet.
Hanging in there for Astralis, and it's just all about trying to give as much positivity forward. And I guess it really does show the difference between online and LAN in this circumstance. We saw Vitality take on Astralis twice in 2 days about a month ago, and Nuke got one by Vitality once, got one by Astralis as well. They were close. They were competitive. This has been anything but that, right? Yeah, we've seen a couple of survival rounds for Astralis, and now Money State's not great. All in all, though, what are Astralis really working with here? They're working on the back of playing to OT.
Yeah, and it's 10 rounds in a row that's required. And it wouldn't just be 10, it would be 12 as well. So, absolutely remarkable situation to find yourself in. It's a tough one for the Astralis boys. Shox is on a hero AK-47 in this round. If there's one or two men who'd want it, it'd probably be him. On the Vitality side, looking to try and make something happen. Looking for an entry toward ramp, perhaps. The pistols can possibly bait him in. 4 Deagles surrounding him to try and do some damage. The Apex now spotted the first, and he'll throw a flashbang to try and defend, but he might be baiting them into Lucky.
Oh no, oh no, a couple of picks have come through, and don't tell me it's going to be the eco, where they don't even use the hero AWP. Apex is walking through. This could be an easy kill onto the vent player. They have no idea Dupree is here. Finally, the jiggle peek. Apex knows.
Apex knows, and Apex knows everything. The site's completely clear, but he has to wait for his teammates to come in. And they're going to go through huts, and wallbangs will be coming in to try and distract them, and there we go. Tag from Apex, looking to try and complete it. Oh, and he's made it happen. It's going to be the pistols to make it happen for Team Vitality. Astralis are struggling. They will manage to answer back with Bubsky doing great work on the M4. Actually gets Apex as well, and there's Lucky. Okay, we're swinging it back again. Now it's down to Kyogen to make up for the previous round. Bubsky and Lucky are both spammable with this Deagle, but now his position is known. Bomb is dropped on the site, 30 seconds to go, and he will miss the shots. Bubsky, the hero, once again. 4 kills for Astralis, and somehow they stay alive, just about afloat.
Jeez, what is going on with the overfighting there for Vitality? Apex just running wild, going as wide as it can out to that main position. It just felt like they wanted to get that round over and done with. That should have been an easy close. That was a 5-on-2 advantage for the T's.
Aye. That's I'll be one they'll look back on later and think, okay, maybe we could have got the game done and dusted right there and then, but this wasn't their buy. This is their buy. Shox having on the hero AK in the previous round means that He'll only be on the Tech 9 in this one. He has utility as well, though, of course, being only on that pistol. And everyone else is at full strength for Vitality. Chantress tries to at least make this one longer and maybe warm up a little bit more than they would have been otherwise if they lost this one 16-3. A few more rounds to play out, perhaps. Apex scouting from Silo, waiting for Lucky to peek from Secret. That could be a duel to go through, but he's not revealing himself as of yet.
Yeah, Lucky's had a rough performance here. T side, CT side, it's only been 5 kills and 16 deaths for him. And not really what you want to see from your main AWPer. Astralis just trying to see if they can work with some of these outside players. Now, they have got Lucky down in that secret position, who hasn't given any information away just yet.
He will now. He will chuck his incendiary down and get himself back down toward the B site. And Shox will call that through. But right now, he is really the only one making some progress toward outside. He's actually got his way through these smokes and out toward heaven. This could be a backstab that they're not expecting. I think there is a player on Astralis keeping aware of this right now. The ladder will be played with. And Shox has a play. You can see him calling that over to his teammates. A play on toward ramp might be cancelled because of what Shox is about to do. He's behind Magix. There's one. Looking for a second. The tech line is hard, but he's doing the shoulder picks. He's making it difficult. And they're just going to drop straight into him. It forces them down onto the site because of Shox, and now it's all down to Lucky and Zipex. This should be it now. 1 versus 5. Shox toward heaven, playing with his food. He knows he can do just that. Zipex is miles away from the situation. He'll get the first, but traded by Apex immediately, and that's a performance and a half from Vitality. 16-6. That's a statement play.
And it looks comfortable to come in from Vitality, not really being tested there on Nuke, getting the job done when it matters the most, and my goodness, the pistols